Three, two, one. Let's go. Welcome back. This is ADWCTA.
Do Warlock.
We're doing Warlock. It is Ashes of Outland's tier score evaluation. It's really late at night. We've been doing this for 8 hours. Stream bod podcast. I drank 2 cups of coffee. It is not enough.
Let's
Okay.
talk about Warlock.
What about Warlock, Merps?
All right. They have a lot of annoying AOEs. They use their health. Let's talk about cards.
What about Warlock cards? We're going to start with Enhanced Dreadlord, the best Warlock card in this set. Not the best Warlock card overall, unfortunately. It's weird, but at this point, when we see a 146, which is like Evil Genius level, which is like almost Twin Tyrant level, we're just not that impressed. As the best card, at least. So, Enhanced
I think
Dreadlord.
some people might think that this is a little bit too high for the card. I will
no.
disagree with them heavily.
Oh, no. It is.
So, yeah, because I remember I saw a comment on this on Arena HS where people, rightfully so, identified as like, oh, well, 8-mana cards are really... Like, you need to expect a lot from an 8-mana card now, right?
You get a lot from this 8-mana card.
You do. And they're like, you just don't get enough. No, you get an insane amount here.
So this card is an 8-mana 5/7 taunt with a death rattle, summon a 5/5 Dreadlord with lifesteal.
That 5/5 Dreadlord with lifesteal is better than another taunt, unless you can kill them on that turn.
Yeah.
That Dreadlord with lifesteal is so good for Warlock. A 5/5 with lifesteal, that's insane. The only time in which that second body is worse than this thing resummoning a taunt is if that they can finish you on that turn exactly.
Yep.
If they can't, that 5/5 Dreadlord is so much sustained. So, like, once again, they need to fight through a 5/7 taunt, right? Which takes some resources, takes some of their minions, and then if they choose to ignore the Dreadlord and go face but don't kill you, you're in such a good position. So it's sort of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. And oh, by the way, you have to fight through a 5/7 taunt first. And it's exactly what Warlock wants.
Mm-hmm. And if they can't if they can't kill the 5/5 in like one turn, or like they just give it to you the next turn, you get 5 heal, and then you keep going. Like they still have to remove it, or you're still going to get 5 heal the turn after that.
Yep. So lots of people are asking, it's like, wait, the second thing has taunt?
No,
it doesn't.
It doesn't need taunt.
That's still fine. That's still. By the way, if the second body had taunt, I don't know. This thing would be like a 190.
This thing would be a normal premium card, like some of the other classes got.
Yeah. But it's only a 146, which I think, like, when I looked at Arena HS, so someone was like, oh, it's very important that the second body doesn't have taunt, and that lowers it significantly.
True.
All it does is prevent it from being a busted card.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know how many people... Like, the crazy thing is, I don't understand people that don't understand how good a second 5/5 body with lifesteal is after you already have to.
It's people who don't play Murloc. It's people who don't play Warlock right. Like, there are people who either don't play Warlock or play Warlock only for, like...
So, once again, that situation holds. You literally have to kill the Warlock on the exact turn that you break through the 5/7 initial taunt body. Otherwise, you're in a really bad spot. Because them healing off of that 5/5 is so good for them. And yeah, that's what makes this a 146.
And you may ask, what if you're ahead on the board? Well, it's something with a death rattle. It's something with high health and a death rattle. Like, it's the best card also if you're ahead on the board.
Yeah, it's just really, really freaking good. So, we've been singing its praises, but because of all the other busted cards, this isn't even a 150.
Yeah.
Lol.
It is 8 mana. It doesn't.
It is 8 mana, which holds it back, right?
But Okay, next is 137, Candle Taker level, also a 3-drop, 3 mana, 3/4 demon. After your hero takes damage, refresh 2 mana crystals. So basically, you get 2 extra mana every single turn as long as you're willing to use your like hero power on the health penalty, uh, which is good. But remember, a 3 mana 3/4 like in at least in Shaman was like a 106. I don't know what it is in Warlord. I could search that up. A Dread Raven is a 110. So this ability is getting something like 37 points.
That's an insane amount.
It's a huge amount
Jeez.
of points. And it would get more points if not for the fact that like it has to stay alive and it only has 4 health. And it doesn't like as a warlock, your ability to get more cards is not limited by the 2 mana. It's limited by the health. So it doesn't actually get you more cards. It just tempos you out a bit more. Like,
which is great.
Yeah,
which is still very good.
It's still very good. That's why it's getting all those points. But you gotta like don't think that you're actually getting more cards on this. Literally, it says refresh 2 mana crystals. You're just getting more mana,
which is good. 137, quite good.
Yep, and you can't use that mana for actual tempo. You have to use that mana to use your hero power to get the cards. So yeah, it's good. It's epic. You don't have to worry about it too much. But
once again, just you know, a fairly like statted card with big upside.
Yep.
Stupid.
And another Imprison card, Imprison Scrap Imp, 2 mana 3/3, which is understated for a Dormant 2 card. Dorma for 2 turns. When this awakens, give all minions in your hand +2/+2.
Good.
It's a 136. You can plan for it for 2 turns, which means you can hold more minions. You know, use your hero power more if you need to. Like,
this is so good.
It is not necessarily good on curve because it does set you back. Not just like when you first play it, but even when it pops out. Like, it should pop out as a Yeti, and it's popping out as a 3/3. So it has to pop out. You have to play your 4-drop, which has that extra +2/+2 that this card doesn't have, and then you stabilize it. So if you're playing this card, make sure you have a play for turn 4 after this pops out that fully uses it. Like, if you have 2 2-drops in your hand when you play this, good. Now you're super good, well-tempoed because you play those 2 2-drops on turn 4. You're very good. You do that. But if in your hand at that point you like don't have enough like drops, then you're really kind of you're risking it, right? Like,
that's the thing. It's like it's not a huge risk. Well, like it's reflected in the score, right? The fact that it's a 136, the algorithm is pretty risk averse. So if it were an actual risk, even a decent amount of time, this would be like a very low score. So on average, the risk that you're taking is heavily outweighed by how good this is. But yeah, it's like part of the reason why it's not a premium because +2/+2 is really freaking good for giving everything in your hand. Is just because like you are a little bit behind. You can get, kind of like really chunked down during that period of time. The fact that if you're dropping on curve, you're really behind, actually, like really, really behind. Those are all dangerous. Those are all not great. And it's part of the reason why the design of this thing is like very interesting. It's very acceptable. And then the stats that you're giving up, even though it's worth it, as you see from the score, they make it quite spicy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like this card in terms of like the design of it.
Yep.
At least for Arena.
Yeah. Like if you think about how top decking works, you top deck this, you use your hero power, you get another card. You're likely playing both of them, so you still don't have anything built up. And like it's hard to build up minions in your hands, right? Because they're so easy to be played. So you have like a problem on both ends. You have a problem of playing it on curve. You need a 4-drop, really. It's not that hard to have a 4-drop, but you do need it. But if you top deck it, you're kind of in trouble.
Yeah. You're also trading some health for it.
Exactly, because you're not able to use this tempo for the first for the turns that it's dormant. So your ideal time to play it, and it's maybe kind of scary to play it then, but it's in the middle of the game. Like, just drop it and just go on with your life. Like, use your hero power the next turn, and then do your big like swing move once it pops out.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So after that, we've dealt with 3 pretty good cards with Warlock.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it's 114. You get a pretty big drop down to Wild Pyromancer level, Amani Berserker level, Sunwalker level, and it is a Nightshade Matron, which is a 4 mana 5/5 rush. That is also a demon. Wow. Battlecry, discard your highest cost card.
Remember when a 4 mana 5/5 rush would have been like insanely good?
Yep.
Not
But
anymore.
no.
Now it's just pretty good. And
Yeah.
also, remember when discarding your biggest card was would have not exactly been the biggest deal, but now huge cards are amazing. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like your perception of a card like this has changed so much. Like if I were to just bring someone in from a year and a half ago and they
Mhm.
looked at this card, they're like, WTF, this is amazing. This is like so
Yeah.
freaking good.
And then we come
And
in and we're like, it's about an Amani Berserker level of good.
yeah, just because like it's unfortunately so many things bring it down. So remember, like a 120 or a 115, like a 118 is the average score of a card in your deck. So this is like not as good as the average card in your
Mm-hmm.
deck, which is crazy. But you have so much initiative, you have so much swing, and so much cards that like give you a benefit without taking anything away. And also, there's so many amazingly good high cards in the game now. And if you're able to use this, that means you're at least on turn 4,
Yep.
which means that you are
You're
actually
getting
not too
close.
far. Yeah, you're getting close. You're not too far away from being able to use those high cost cards. It's a real penalty. It's like a real penalty. And a card like this, in which a year and a half ago you would have looked at it and you'd be like, "This is insane." It's one of the best cards in
Mm-hmm.
Warlock without a doubt. Now it's going to be a on average below average card in your drafted deck. Insane. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. After this, we go down even further. We are now down to 88. This is Frost Elemental territory. You do not want to be at Frost Elemental territory. It is Hand of Gul'dan, 6 mana, draw 3 cards. Same effect if you discard it. So you see the synergy with Nightshade Matron, but really you're not going to pull it off all that often. You're really just going to play it as a 6 mana, draw 3 cards, which is not good for Warlock that can draw cards anyway.
Expensive card draw is not good for
Yeah,
Warlock.
this
Period.
is like
That's it.
6 mana, heal your face for 6. Like that's what it is. And get all the cards at once, and you can use your hero power on top of it and all that. But it's not
Great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Moving on. We have the next one is an unstable Fellbot for 71 score. 71 score is bad.
Actually, wait, it's this low? I'm surprised by this.
It's deal 3 damage to an enemy minion and a random friendly one.
Yeah.
So you have to actually like not have a friendly minion, or else it's super not worth it. It
You
can
could
only
trade in.
Yeah, you could trade in, but you have to be done. You can't have anything on the board. So if you're playing Zoo at all, then you just can't use this card. So what are you doing with it, right? And if you're playing Control,
That's true. You can trade in, but you can't have any minions.
you
on
can't
your
have
board
any minions on your board. You don't get to select the minion that you deal it to, or even if you did, that minion would have had to have like 4 health, right? But you don't. It's bad.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. You literally can't have any minions on the board. Yep. All right.
So that's where it is. It's fine. Like it's a holy smite if you are not on the board, right? Or if you're like trading on the board, but like on the losing side. But it's pretty situational.
Right. So yeah, like you can think of it in terms of all the times in which it is a holy smite, but it's actually not that common.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when is it going to be a holy smite? Definitely on turn 1. Well, that's great. And then after that, I don't know.
All right, moving on. Another bad card, 64. 64 is where you have, I don't know, Wisp. 1 mana, Shadow Counsel. It's an epic, you won't see it very much. Replace your hand with random demons, give them +2/+2. Replacing your hand with random stuff is never good. Demons are decent, but
Demons
in
are
Warlock,
decent.
demons are also kind of small for the most part. So
Yeah, you have a decent amount of small demons, and also, so if this costs nothing, it would be great. Like in terms of not using it, but you're giving up a card. Remember,
yeah,
like you're literally giving up a card. So I see some people are like, "Whoa, this seems insane." If you could have this effect but not give up a card, yeah, it's great. But you give up a card, and also, um, random demons with +2/+2. How much better is it than cards that you have drafted, that you have chosen, and with curve considerations, with all that stuff? It's not that much better. And then because like when you have like and then if you have a ton of cards and if you want to do this, well, you're giving up like a decent amount of initiative as well because you probably have spells in there. And if you're waiting that long, anyways, it's one of those cards in which I look at it at first, I'm like, it seems decent. And the more I think about it, I'm like, no, it's bad.
like
It's just bad.
you can't play it on curve because you're not going to get curve cards from it necessarily.
No.
It's way too big of a risk. You'd only play it on curve if you already failed to get your curve, which means you drafted weird for a Warlock.
Yeah.
You're gonna play it in the mid game and it's fine, but if you play it in the late game, it won't actually like you don't have a hand in the late game because you're a Warlock. So it's in this weird situation where you want to play it if you're like a control Warlock in the mid to late game. Like it's pretty specific. In your normal mid-range deck, this card has very little place. The good part about Warlocks though is that you do end up with some cards that you just like don't get to use because like let's say you're already on the board and then you have double-sided board clears. And this one can turn it into stuff that's useful, but it costs a card, right? Going back to your thing. The fact that it costs a card kind of ruins everything that you can do with it that's more specific and smart.
Yeah.
Okay. You have one more card. It's terrible. It's 36. 36 is Alarmobot. It's 4 mana.
Yikes.
It's called the Dark Portal. You draw a minion. If you have at least 8 cards in hand, you won't. It costs 5 less. So, if you guys are ever wondering what 4 mana draw a card looks like in Warlock, it's about an Alarmobot.
And if you have at least 8 cards in your hand, why do you need to draw something else?
Well, it's draw a minion, right? Like this is for constructed when you have the number of you're digging for a particular minion.
Right. But so this is why it's sort of like, but they're like, oh, but it's like, well, if you find yourself in that position, that's great.
Like these are the kinds of cards that they used to print more often, and in Arena it's like, ugh. But like not really a lot of that in Ashes of Outlands. But this card is definitely one of those cards.
This is one of those things that's like so. It's like, for example, it's like a for example, it's like a 5 mana heal 2 to your face. If you're already at 25 health, heal for 20. It's like one of those effects. Is like, oh wait. The more I think about it, the more it makes 0 sense. It's not even like that good, but it's a thing.
All right. So, if you're wondering how Warlock plays, your top cards for Warlock are Twisted Knowledge, Hellfire, Rift Cleaver, Plague of Flames, and Shadow Flame. So, still a lot of board clears in there, still a lot of ability to go control, but you also have a lot of your normal cards that can also be used to go zoo. I think overall, the trend here for Warlock is going to err towards the side of control or the side of like swinging back and forth because you have control cards and you're going to put stuff on the board and you're going to hero power to draw more cards. It's pretty well suited for the meta overall. It's not too powerful, like Warlock cards in general are usually not too powerful. We're not in a particular like meta where outside of the Twisted Knowledge edition that things are that powerful. Evil Genius is coming back. That's gonna be a pretty damn good card. But overall, you're going to have like a lower value kind of class that is flexible and good for the meta. So I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the legendaries.
Legendaries! There are 2 legendaries in this class. They're both pretty good. 135 is the lower of the 2. 135 is still premium. And that is Canthred Ibnlock. 2 mana, 3/2. Your demons cost 1 less. This is an ability, so only when it's on the board. And Death Rattle, shuffle a Ketharan Prime into your deck. What is a Ketharan Prime?
The Prime card is an 8 mana 7/6 demon. Battle Cry, summon 3 friendly demons that died this game. It's good.
Very good.
You're going to have demons. Your demons are going to die. And then, so you're missing like a decent amount of stats, but you're definitely getting them back with the Battle Cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a good card. You're shuffling a good card into your deck. Once again.
All right. And then you have the Insanely Crazy card that's a 190. It's a legendary. They're allowed to be kind of insanely crazy. And that is Keladon the Breaker. 6 mana, 3/3. Destroy a minion. That's a really good card. But wait, there's more. If drawn this turn, instead, destroy all minions except this one. So,
yeah,
on the turn that you draw it, it double-sided board clears for 6 mana and puts a 3/3 on the board. Now, you don't have to play it this turn. If you don't have to play it this turn, it's just like a Assassinate on a Stick that's really good. But if you do play it on the turn, like you're in desperation mode and hero powering to like get stuff, you get exactly what you want.
It's really good. Yeah. So like, God, this is gonna be infuriating top deck. This is gonna be such a stupid top deck. This is like the top deck to end all top decks because it's a super Deathwing, right? It's like a super Deathwing. But yeah, even like when you're not drawing this immediately and using the effect, it's still really good.
And you get 2 shots at it too, right? For the top deck because you're a Warlock. Like it's kind of crazy.
Yep.
All right. That's Warlock. We got one last class before we end this. We're gonna end it after 1 a.m. We're not gonna make it. All right, Warrior is next. We'll give shout outs after the Warriors to everybody. We're gonna no shout out this one. See you guys on Warrior.
Bye.
Bye.